Overwatch, the game that everyone has a love-hate relationship with. It's heading in a different direction to balance the game. Double Shield has been a tyrant for a long time, as back in GOATS it was some form of double shield with Brig and Zarya. After roll Q was implemented, things took a turn from 3-3 to double shield type comms. With the addition of Sigma and the addition of Orisa buffs, things needed to change as the game was getting stale by the day. But what could change to help out the game more? We'll be discussing this today about Overwatch and the main core problem. When you ask a current veteran of the game what Ghosts was, they tell you it was a composition of 3 tanks and 3 supports, or a different variant with a DPS pick. You had Moats with Mei. This was more of a stall tactic more than an aggressive tactic. Then you had Soats for Sombra Goats, which was to shut down the enemy's team while gaining ult charge from health packs. Then the main form of Goats was Diva, Reinhardt, Zarya, Brig, Lucio, and Zenyatta. These 6 formed the original Goats, as it was a unkillable and a wonder of a format that there was. Now with Goats, it is definitely a hard subject to talk about because there were so many compositions. With them nerfing Diva, it brought a new light and adding another aspect where they could flex onto another tank, either like Roadhog or something around the line of a Orisa. What does GOAT have to do with this discussion, you might be asking? GOAT was the start of a heavy change that needed to occur that happened way later than it should have to make the game into what we have now with roll Q. With GOAT, it was a unkillable force and all about ult economy and who got what ultimate first, and along with the rise of Brig came, and you could tell that she is still present within the game today in certain compositions to help against flank heroes and Genjis. But the problem with Brig, she created a monstrosity that changed the game forever. With talking about Goats out of the way, the current experimental card proves that Brig is an issue and shouldn't have been so strong right out the gate. With the hero, her role was to stop flankers, but they gave her too much to bargain. Other heroes like Orisa and Sigma were nerfed as they were nearly unkillable in certain compositions, as they were the duo that soaked up damage, made damage disappear, and made it easy for Ana and other supports to get their ult super quickly. They are heading in the right direction with this experimental card, but they still need to change a few things to make the game better in the first place. One of the things that they need to change are heroes like Junkrat and heroes that they overbuffed to counter Goats. Those are the heroes that have been forgotten, as we have seen Junkrat and heroes like Pharah, even though she just got buffed, are getting more playtime than other heroes like how Genji was and how Tracer was back in the day. What could they do after this experimental card? First, they can adjust things by nerfing DPS heroes like Junkrat, because it was more of a precaution for Goats. They overbuffed some DPS and some of those buffs have stayed long past their presence, because now all the spam damage we have makes shield heroes a little bit harder to play. Other heroes like Roadhog, I'm not sure about the change, but we will see what happens in the future, if it is overpowered or not. I heard it's actually better for the game than what it is, but the main issue now, in my opinion, is DPS. DPS was defined more in 3 different types of playstyles, being hit scan, projectile, and strategic playing. If you have any of these, like a hit scan and a projectile together, you are fine because you have coverage over a lot of things throughout for the game. Heroes like Genji, Junkrat, maybe Echo, and Doomfist may need a nerf in the future, but we're still uncertain as Overwatch 2 is coming out sometime soon this year or maybe early next year, so they might want to nerf and buff heroes that need it the most. Heroes like Genji, he's almost back to how he was, but there's a few things that are still different about him compared to how he was before his massive buff that made him meta. Like I said, Junkrat needs his damage nerf. He can one-shot any 200 HP hero. Then we have Echo. She was supposed to be the double barrier breaker, but it never really happened because the meta was so dominant by Ashe and McCree. And other heroes, maybe like Doomfist, will need that fix because Doomfist has been super buggy and a little overpowered for this time right now. For heroes that may need buffs, they are for special heroes that aren't really doing anything. We have heroes like Zenyatta. He really doesn't have a way to self-heal or a way to heal for himself, as he is one of the least picked support characters right now. Then we have heroes like Bastion, because Ashe and Baptiste actually do a better job than what he can do. Baptiste, he self-heals and he heals the whole team. He can triple headshot and do over 200 damage just by that. And his ultimate is double damage, so it helps in a lot of cases. And you can pair it quite well with Bastion if you wanted to. Reason why Ashe does a better job is because you have other things like it's more precise, you can deal more damage, and you have Bob on top of that, so it's like a 7th hero. And the next hero that may need a buff is a character that people think is annoying, but I think is actually pretty useful, being Sombra. Even though she is the annoying one, she could deserve a little something too to help out against current metas. Then we have maybe a Zarya buff, because she, if D.Va becomes meta, she will have to be needed to counter that D.Va. But overall, with this new experimental card, I think it's very good, and hopefully it deals with double shield quite well, because that is the thing that is needed to go away since the game is stale, and I'm hoping for something new. If you want to rank up right now as a support, try and play Brig as much as you can before the nerfs come in, because with the new nerfs, she is still going to be there, but you have to play a very heal-centric comp. But other than that, this meta is definitely going to be changing for the best. So if you guys did enjoy this discussion video, I would like to hear your guys' comments down below and your thoughts on what should be buffed and what should be nerfed. But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.